Are you having a fear of success and you're running a business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, and you notice something is holding you back? There's sort of this glass ceiling effect. You're not growing actually higher, but you know you could. Well, then let's talk. If you do a bit of research, maybe you have done this already on the fear of success, you notice, at least what I noticed, is that this concept, this idea of the fear of success is not very well defined. It's very broad. Self-improvement, fear of success. And this is not helpful to let go of this, because you first of all need to have a better understanding of what are the actual mechanisms, the actual thoughts, the patterns that are going on, and then you can change that. The fear of success is more of this mental masturbation of like, oh, it sounds great. And it gives you the subtle feeling of, yeah, I could do better. Actually, I have much more potential. I have this fear of success. But let's get actually real. Let's take a closer look. And I want to contribute to defining this concept of fear of success by sharing 4 different types that I came across the last years, working with clients, also working on myself a lot. And the very first type that you might have is actually not a fear of success. That's just something that is protecting. But if you take a closer look, what's behind this fear of success, it's actually fear of failure. You're afraid to fail. You're afraid to make more money with your business and then lose it all. You're afraid to raise very high, because the higher you raise, the deeper you can fall. Classical example, I had a client, a German one, and in Germany, you know, with the taxes, it's always a thing. And he was afraid actually the more money he made, that he's messing something up with the taxes. And if you do that and the government figures this out, that's a problem. I take that very serious. And he noticed that he is actually not going all out anymore. He's not giving it all because he's afraid to make too much money and mess up the taxes. But he had a tax accountant. Rationally it was fine, but fear has nothing to do with rationality. I mean, tell somebody who's afraid of a spider to say, oh no, the spider is not poisonous. No problem, don't worry. They still worry, right? And you potentially have that as well. To become so successful that you will have problems. Maybe people are suing you because you make so much money, and that's a normal thing at some point, right? That once in a while there's a lawsuit involved if you make millions of dollars. Maybe you're afraid of that. But generally this fear of failure, of not being able to take the responsibility, of not being able to handle it. First type. Second type is you somehow having this entanglement of this greatness that you're having, thinking that this is a weakness. You feel uncomfortable talking about that. It feels like you're too arrogant. You don't want to come across arrogant. And in a sense, you don't want to be narcissist. But nobody wants to be narcissist, except from narcissists. They're fine with that. But you're having this big fear of that. And you have this fear of, oh, if I'm accepting and embracing my greatness, I maybe come across needy. And nobody likes needy people. If somebody gives you compliments, or business partners like, hey, you're doing a good job here and there, you say thank you, but, and then you put yourself down. And you feel like this is all not, I don't feel comfortable embracing my greatness. And that's a dilemma, because thinking about your greatness feels like it's a bad thing. So what you do instead is you focus on your weaknesses, and then you feel fine again. Embrace your weak parts, and then you feel fine. And that's again not helping you to succeed. And what's going on simply here is that you feel like you're overly arrogant and you feel like it's a negative thing to embrace the greatness. That's a specific fear of success that you're having. Third type that I came across is that you don't want to bother others. You shining so much makes you worry that others might feel insecure about that and intimidated. But let me tell you this, there's nothing mature about you making yourself smaller than you are just so others don't feel insecure. That's not mature. It's actually also holding others back, because if you show your greatness, maybe some people feel insecure about that, but that has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with them. But also you actually give them subconsciously this permission of, hey, you can also be great. You can also do that. Don't be afraid to be like that. And quite some people will be inspired. But it's actually quite immature of you not wanting to show greatness, and actually it's about you being uncomfortable to show that because you don't want to bother others. don't do that. But that's a fear of success. I want to show my greatness. Others won't like it. Others will hate it. And again, that's connected maybe to this first part, fear of failure, because maybe then others will drag me down and then it won't work. So you just kind of try to stay on average, maybe a bit above average, but not too much, because you don't want to bother others. And the last point is about outgrowing your father. Especially if you have a lot of respect towards your father, because he's maybe been quite an authority in your childhood also. Maybe he has quite a strong character, and maybe he's fairly successful, and you feel like it would be subconsciously, again, it's on an emotional level, not a rational level, emotional level. It would be unpolite to outgrow my father, to make more money, to be more successful, to go bigger. There would be something wrong about this. I cannot do this outshining my dad. Subconsciously, you're even afraid of that. There's subconsciously this fear of competition. What happens if I'm outgrowing my father? Is he then not loving me anymore? Does he feel bad about this? I cannot do this. He's my father. And that makes you not giving it all. And that's sad. I mean, imagine this goes over generations, like never exceeding the father. Everybody becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And you need to break this cycle. It's better for everybody, trust me. And by the way, it's very selfish, this fear of success. It often has a lot to do with, like, I'm afraid that others are bothered by that. That's the most common one. But it's very selfish. It's you not wanting to handle that. But by doing that, you're not showing and sharing this gift to the world that you have. You cannot inspire people. You cannot make this world a better place. And I hope that's your mission, to make this world a better place. Okay. What can you do about this? Awareness is the first step. That's why I shot this video, to simply notice, oh, actually something in this area is going on. Great. Become aware of it. Go throughout the day. Become aware of those thoughts that pop up. Question those beliefs. Maybe testing it a little bit. Actually pushing the boundaries. Triggering yourself a bit and noticing, is this actually real? This fear of success. And also, stop feeling jealous for others' success. Start simply trying to nurture this feeling of inspiration and feeling well and actually liking others' success, wishing them well. Really try to nurture that. You can do that by simply consciously having this intention of wanting to nurture others' success. By actually nurturing that and not being jealous towards others, funnily, you will have an easier time to show your own greatness without feeling judged. If you want to work on that, there's a link below the video. Just book a call with me. The first call is for free. Will be already valuable. We pin it down even more. We figure out a couple of points that you probably haven't thought about before that will be helpful. And then we can talk about the possibility of moving forward. But we only do this then in the second call where we talk about this. But there's no must-have. The first call will be already valuable. So book that one. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.